Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, group. Guess what? I got a request to join the group from a guy. I don't know who the hell he is. His name is Nathan, Nathon Nelson. But he has like no picture, no like really information, and I'm not about to let us get catfish. I do want to open up the group to some men because I think it will be exciting. But because of the contents of what we talk about, some of it is very personal. But it's our life. I mean, some of the stuff is like no secret. It's not like, whatever. So, but I'll make sure we all are comfortable with it. And at the end of the day, I mean, only like a handful of us interact with each other anyway, out of everybody that's on the group. I'm not trying to say anything about it. It is what it is. But it is what it is. So, anyway, I wanted to, I had here wash my hair. I'm so excited because the weave was, oh my God. You see my forehead? I don't know if you can see it, but it started breaking out. And I can't. I like to get my hair rest because it's so, tightly coiled sometimes. It's just ridiculous. It's not like, it's definitely soft. It's not, like, but I just don't like to really do too much with it. So I like to wear my wigs and stuff like that. Plus change my look from time to time. Most of the people that know me know I'm probably a different person every other week. But anyway, I didn't get a chance to share my story. So I'm just going to make this kind of quick. I know a lot of times some of you have heard me say the word fathers, and it's because I wasn't raised by my birth father. I was raised by my brother's father at a very young age. I want to say around 5-ish. My mother had a best friend who, remember the best friend, who introduced her to her cousin, and her cousin is my father. And they met at a young age. I want to say probably like 18, and she got pregnant at 19 and had me at 20. Both of them were kind of like the black sheep of the family, just ripping and running the streets and partying. This is the 80s, just living it up. Well, my father, was a thug. So that's probably why sometimes I attract those type of guys. And he was probably in jail, I want to say 7 years of my life at growing up. So my dad took over. My mom doesn't believe in the word step parent. It is either a parent or not. So that's what I call him, and that's what he was. He wasn't nothing step about him. He held it down. I was the only child, and I was spoiled rotten. He took me on fishing trips. We had talks. He was my best friend. I was daddy's girl. He comes from a family that's kind of, a little high sedity. They had the house with the pool and the white living room that you couldn't touch anything, and the piano and so forth. And, sorry. And so forth. So me and my mother kind of felt a little left out because we were of a different shade. So but that was cool with me because I had my dad, and I'm like, I don't care who doesn't accept me, I got my dad. And because my father was kind of well off, he was self-employed, he taught me about investments and stuff like that. I kind of got from the family that they thought my mom probably was with him just for financial reasons. But he loved her, and he loved me unconditionally. So, what happened was, I had a great childhood. I'm not going to lie. Around 16, 17, that's when everything spiraled out of control. So, when you are living in a world that's like house on a prairie, picket fence, and then your bubble gets popped, it could take a serious emotional toll on you. So, at that age, my brother was born around 12 or 13, so my mother and him weren't together anymore. A couple of years later, he had a daughter, and the daughter was by the best friend. So that took a toll on the family, took a toll on me, because now it's like, how do I compete with blood? And his love for her was something that I knew that I could never compare to. And it's not to say that he loved me any less or whatever, but he was more absent because he took the role of being a full-time parent for reasons and so forth. We won't get into that. So I kind of was left without a father. My birth father came back into my life because I started wilding out, and kind of felt abandoned because at the same time my mom met someone who was incarcerated, and them two moved in, so her whole life was constantly, like I can't even get my words together. Was basically about, building that relationship. And I was leaving off to college, so her thing was, listen, you about to leave, I just want to be happy. And I expressed how uncomfortable I felt about it. It didn't seem like my mom's character, because she always kind of dealt with men that had something going for them. But again, my feelings was put to the side, and it was like, I'm going to do what's best for me. At the same time, my high school sweetheart who I was with also had a baby. So while I was away at college, he was out here cheating and making babies. And I explained to you guys before that I had an issue with fibroids and endometriosis. So I had a 50% chance of having kids. So that crushed me to no end. And plus I trusted him with like my everything. And he was my everything. And at the same time, my birth father was in my life, but he basically didn't have parental skills. So I wasn't getting those phone calls like, hey, I miss you, I love you. It was like, hey, I'm in the hospital, could you come sign me out? Because my other brothers and sisters, they had a very dysfunctional relationship. But he made sure that their needs was met and taken care of. While he got a lawsuit and, was buying cars and paying bills, I'm in college and I can't even get $100 book paid. So I signed out of college and, I had basically a nervous breakdown because all of this happened at the same time. And to have my world completely turned upside down, it was devastating. I said to myself, well, I'm just going to leave everybody alone, fuck them, and do me. And that's what I did. But between partying and drinking and drugs and, all this other stuff and the multitude of men and just, just basically just trying to fill a void that none of those things could ever fill permanently or have any type of good foundation to build on, it spiraled out of control. So when I got pregnant with my son, he basically saved my life because I think deep down inside I didn't want to live anymore. I felt like, the people that you think are supposed to love you and protect you wasn't there. You feel lost. You feel like somebody dropped you off in the middle of the fucking desert and you have to find your way back. And that's how I felt. I was completely scared to death. I'm like, who can I call? Who can I trust? Because the people that you trust, you can't. So I say all of that to say, it taught me a valuable lesson. It taught me how to be strong because I was always a little nerdy girl who just cried, who was spoiled rotten. I had to stand up and I had to pop back. So what I did is I popped back. I held it down. I always had my own place. I never called nobody, asked nobody for shit. I took care of my son. I made sure I was good. And I grew from that. And I learned that we put labels and titles on people and expect them to be those type of people. And we can't. No matter if they're mother, father, sister, brother, they're human. They're gonna love who they want to love. They're gonna do what's best for them. They're gonna live a life that's beneficial to them. Now, yeah, they're supposed to sacrifice. Yeah, they're supposed to take your feelings into consideration. But we gotta think of it coming from an adult standpoint now and being a mother and being a woman. Excuse me. Some of y'all know how I burp, so knock it off. That's just how I go through life. I don't put nothing past anybody because I've been through certain situations. So that's my story in a very small nutshell. And I say all that to say, whether people may think, oh, how you grew up or what happened in your life shouldn't have an effect. You're older now. You should know how to do this. You should know how to do that. Yeah, you have a great point. But at the same time, it does have an effect. Because now every time I look at somebody, whether they're genuine or not, I'm always going to leave that open door to say, okay, it's okay if you fall short. Because I know people who have fell short. Very fucking short. I mean, small people short. But at the end of the day, I have found a way to not give that power. I have found a way not to put energy into that, not to show weakness. So instead of, sitting each person down and saying, oh, you did this, you did that. And some people say maybe that's what you should do, to get closure. Me personally, no, I showed them I'm strong. I don't need you for nothing. I'm going to make it. And that's something that you're going to have to take to bed every night. Because every day I wake up, I know I've done right by any and everybody that I have ever dealt with. And if I didn't and I fell a little short, okay, maybe I have. I won't say I'm perfect. But at the end of the day, each one of those people now, every time they see me, they know, I can call Marty. I can depend on Marty. Marty has never did this. Marty has never did that. So they have to carry around a certain amount of guilt. So at the end of the day, sometimes me personally, on my end of the spectrum, I don't think it's really necessary to have to go to people and point out their flaws and say, oh, woe is me type thing. It may work for you. And maybe that is something you need to do. It's a great tactic that a lot of people use. I know a lot of therapists use. And it does kind of help. because a lot of people don't know the extent of their actions. But me personally, because I'm such a loving person, and because I'm just like, I just let stuff go and move on with my life, because I have so much other stuff to do, especially right now. I don't want to rehash and reopen up a wound, and it's difficult for me. So that's just how I handle things. And maybe that's how you can handle things. You can be strong, move on, be cordial, and forgive. And by forgiving, you cannot hold no animosity. So I have to sit in front of my sister / cousin, and I've done her hair. We went out on dates. I brought birthday gifts. And it still bothers me when I go to the house, because I'm very close with the family. This is my family. You know, this is my father's like second cousin. And you know, and I sit there, and you know, people looking like, wait a minute, that's your sister, but she's your brother's sister, and you're related to, you know, her cousin's cousin. And it's, sorry, I'm sweating to death. So, you know, it's a lot, and it's a little bit embarrassing, and it's hurtful, because, you know, everybody's sitting around like, you know, this is okay, and this is crazy as hell. But it is what it is. You know, my father's, every time something's needed or their car break down, they call me. They're not calling the people that they turn their back on me for. They're calling me. So I get a little bit of a high off of that. I know I've overcome. I know that I have I could walk past holding my head up high, like, whatever you did, I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still gonna hold it down. I'm still gonna hold you down, and I still love you regardless. So I say all of that to say, beautiful ladies of the group, hold on one second, because I can't take it. I'm in my bathroom with these damn lights. I don't know if y'all can see them. They're like 1,000 degrees. But anyway, probably because I'm getting older. Who knows? I'm probably going through the change. But I say all that to say, stop holding grudges. Stop being upset at somebody. Stop pointing the finger. Stop blaming. Yes, it will affect you. Use it as a stepping stone and step on up. Like the Jefferson said, move your ass on up to the east side, west side, north side, south side, whatever side you need to go to, that's where you go. I love you, ladies. Let's interact a little bit more. Let's have fun. Let's talk about some experiences, because I just got a friend request for somebody I stopped speaking to, and I don't even know if I want to tread them waters, but I do like sticking my toes in the water since it's a little hot outside. So anyway, again, I love you guys. Peace, blessings, sending light and positive vibes your way. Hit me up, send a message, leave a video. Let's get this club popping, well, group rather, popping. All right, I gotta go, because I gotta get to work.